that's not good. We did that with Nat's bike. I really don't know what I'm expecting now, guys. We've got no airbox on. I've pulled the spark plug out another half a turn. I'm just going to have a play on its normal carb with fuel, etc. Spitting fuel backwards. The side casing's off, so we're back to where we were. I can spray brake cleaner through. We're kind of back to where we were before. This will be interesting. Got to somehow do throttle. Choke off, throttle in hand, somehow press the button. Really, we don't need to worry about the throttle too much. Ooh. Ah. There you go. That's not good. We did that with Nat's bike. No more of that. That's ridiculous. At some points it sounds close, and then at other points it's not giving anything, yet we know that there's spark and we know we can put spray through. I mean, we could do a compression test just to be sure. It's just the fact that it started up last week is what's really interesting now. And the only difference was that the spark plug was nowhere near all the way in. It does feel unhappy at the bottom. It felt happier out, but out a lot. But it wasn't squashed when we checked it earlier. So, I mean, it shouldn't be now, but You just never know, really, do we? We could always put a tiny squirt of fuel down here, but I think one of the issues now is that the bike's it's got loads of fuel through it. It really does feel spark issue. It does feel spark. This one. I might need to get a look. It's fine. I could probably close the gap a bit more. I did close the gap a touch earlier, but not as much as I should. I'm going to put a magnet down there just in case any shards came off the others. It's probably too late, let's be honest. We've smashed the engine if there was. But and then I'm going to close the gap a little bit. I mean, I don't think that's the issue. When you look at the spark on here, guys, it's strong, you know. I don't really know what the issue is at this stage, if I'm being honest. So none of my compression test fittings fit this bike. First time ever, actually. First time in, well, as long as I've been doing this, that they didn't fit. It's ridiculous, really. White knuckle, I never liked white knuckle anyway. I've always said that since not being able to get a set of brake pads for a 1-year-old bike that they brought in. I think it's I can't stand that. I can't stand people coming in, bringing in these bikes, and then not bringing in enough supplies to support them, knowing that they need them desperately. Yeah, no luck. The exhaust kind of powered off at one point. That's it, really, isn't it? Got a couple of people coming today. I've got Stuart coming at some point to visit. He's one of you guys, one of the watchers, and he wanted to pop in and see the garage, which you're always welcome to do. And I've got Abdul coming to buy the Piaggio Fly. I've got another bike in mind, and I think it's really interesting, actually, guys. I think it's a great step in the right direction for this channel at this stage, because, I mean, I'll explain more if I get the bike. I have to get the bike first. But basically, if Abdul buys that, I'm going to get this other one, and I'm looking forward to it, if I'm being honest. But let's get there first. This is really interesting. I went to Halfords this morning, and apart from picking up some cheap brake cleaner, I picked up the appropriate spark plug for this bike. Now, I looked online. WK themselves offer a service kit for this, and they tell you what oil they're using and what filter they're using. But of course, they don't tell you what spark plug they're using, so that you can't go and buy it somewhere else. To be fair, their service kit price was very reasonable. It was 25 quid for oil, filter and spark plug, but I just wanted a spark plug. Anyway, after a lot of work and a lot of researching and some translation of what their plug is, their plug had a completely different code. It turned out that ultimately we needed a CR, it actually said 6, a CR6 HSA. CR6 HSA. I've told you before about the numbers in the middle of these things. They're heat ratings. Anything from 6 to 9, you'll be fine. So if your bike runs a CR8, for example, and you can only get a CR7 or CR9, take it, it will work. It's exactly the same spark plug, except it just runs a different heat setting. This is going to shock you more than anything. Let me see if I can find what I was using yesterday. And remember, I was messing with all that spacing and crap. I'll find one. Here you go. So this is what I was messing with yesterday, and this one itself right now has the double spacer on, yeah. And then, Stuart, 1 minute. Right, 1 minute. Let me let Stuart in, and I'm coming back to this. So, I'm just catching up. Stuart's here, he's in the background. You'll hear Stuart and you'll see him from a distance at points today. Now look, this is the CR7E that I spaced. There is a double spacer on there, so that's not normal. There's a double spacer on there. Now check this out. This is the actual one. Look at that. So I mean, I was nowhere near even. See that, Stuart? I was nowhere near.
That really is different.
So between me, the last owner, and the garage, I'm pretty sure we've wrecked the engine.
Yeah, that's a lot of extra thread.
I think we've probably smashed the valves because I couldn't get this thing running yesterday. But lucky for you, that is one of the first things we're going to try today. We're going to put this in at its proper length, and we're going to just see if we're extremely lucky if this will fire up at all.
I'm feeling good about it.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
I spent 5 hours, mate. It didn't kick. It didn't kick. At one point, the exhaust blew off. So what was happening was it was throwing in loads of fuel, and wasn't really sparking it. Yeah. Which would make sense if that's too far in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do have concerns now that I have bent one of the valves. Or to be fair, I'm not going to say I've done it actually. The shop probably did it before me.
I just can't believe they didn't pick that up.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They did. I kind of get the slight confusion, Stuart, because the kids, I always call these teens kids and they're not. Ryan, who's got the other GRS now, he did say to the shop, well, basically he said, get everything done. I will pay for it, get everything done. And that's okay. But then I don't think they took him seriously. Okay. I think when you do that with shops, like chuck it in the background, just do bits and pieces when you can. Yeah. I don't think they take that seriously, and that's exactly what they did.
It's a blank check telling them that. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then what bothered me was that they would cut something here, test it, and then not redo it afterwards, so that you're not always at a nice place. Yeah. They cut that, then they cut the side stand switch, then they're messing with this. And they just ripped everything out.
You're inviting new problems.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't isolate. Because the truth is, Stuart, for 30 quid, we isolated the problem on day one.
Yeah.
We needed a stator.
Yeah.
And if they'd just done that, he said he'll pay for it. They should have bought a stator, chucked it in, and charged him 50 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, let's, because we're early, my plan for today, guys, actually with Stuart here is, I've got a couple of kind of ideas. I need the little mopeds, I need them to be pulled out, nipped up, cleaned, any loose panels on, because I want to advertise them for spares or repairs. I have got a friend who wants them, who's the breakers guy, and actually he'll make loads of money out of them, so I do want him to buy them. But I have been asked to clear this area now. Now my local guys, they're brilliant, I love them. They're, you know, caretakers, that's who they are. I love them. But actually, I feel sorry for them when they're cleaning around it and stuff. It's my mess. I've told Gary that middle thing needs to something, burn it. So we are dealing with that, even if we have to take it to his house. So today, and I've got a brand new lock set. So for the one that works, Stuart, no joke, this little moped, right? I will kick the thing.
This one.
Look, watch this, right? I don't know when it was started up last. Watch this. I'm gonna look silly now, aren't I? Right, watch this.
Wow.
Look, this bike wants to live.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And that could be 6 weeks since I've touched it. Wow, really? It just has a great engine and a good carb. Yes, but I haven't got it in me.
Yeah.
I've offered it to a mate for 300, both of them, but he's a scrapper.
Right. Yeah.
So he's going to be taking parts and selling them.
So was that the original pair? Because you bought a pair.
Yeah, that's the pair. Yeah. That one is finished. The problem is that one has the most history. So that one is in the worst condition, but that's number plate. It has some history.
Right.
It's been on the road.
Yeah.
This one has no history, but is in better condition, which is why you're left with this. I mean, if I had a good solid day strip, I'd be putting that engine in there, this engine in there, because they don't ask for the engine numbers on the 362. So that in there, I'd be putting all the best parts from this onto there. So it'd have a good engine, a number plate, a lock set. You'd have one good-looking bike.
Yeah.
Like that has a good panel here that's not broke.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we could black all that up. That's easy. It will look great for its age.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you still end up sitting on a bike that you're waiting 3 months for a logbook.
Yeah. And it's all time. Isn't it?
It's all time. It's all time. And some people will say if I'd done it immediately, it might come back. But even then, if I had a logbook for these now, they're still not worth anything to me. Yeah. But I do. So I want to kind of have a play with them and some Abdul's coming to buy that, and then I'll show you personally on my phone what I'm looking at next, Stuart.
Yeah.
Stuart's bike's here. Can we show your bike?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Stuart's bike's here. Stuart's on at least the ER5 for him. I've seen you.
Yeah.
And he shows off his bike. So it's hand painted, and what? Just acrylic, all of it?
No,
What's the tank?
That's actual MOD olive drag, the 1960s.
Yes.
I think it was like 62 to 70. I'm guessing.
And that
It
is
was the 60s.
exactly.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that would have literally been hand painted on the land.
And that's what was on my XJ550, the famous XJ550 I talk about. That's what the tank was.
Yeah.
John had done it.
Yeah.
He painted it on, and he'd shortened his back end a touch. Like, I don't know how he could explain it, because it didn't look non-standard. It looked pretty standard.
Yeah.
But whatever he'd done, he'd shortened it all just enough.
Yeah.
And I think he went to a single shock, or he went to a double shock. But yeah, he did all these things. And then I bought the bike off him, and then of course it was set on fire in Camden, in a petrol station and all out of everywhere. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen, I'm a fan of the rough and ready look. Some of the sprays I use have that grip stuff on them.
Yeah, I mean, I love like rat bikes and all that kind of stuff, you know. So this is. Yeah.
I think this does the job.
Yeah, I think so. With the black, it kind of sets the black off. I mean, yeah, this is just acrylic with lacquer actually.
Yeah.
On the panels and you know, the radiator cover.
You got the same texture, which is good.
Yeah, well, that was what I was going for.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what was on there before was awful. Yeah, something had to be done with it. So
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, why not?
Nat's there now at home.
I know.
His nuts are shrivelling up.
I do apologise, Nat.
And he's screaming.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Stuart, what have you done?
Yeah.
Nat is I've never met anyone who can do what Nat can do. Nat's a learner. I mean, I've been trying to spray paint bikes for 20 years, and I've never got a decent job. Nat watched one tutorial, and he does the best spray jobs around. Goldie, if I can get that ER5 back, I'd get that back.
Yeah.
It's still on your forum. Have you seen it?
Yes. Yeah.
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 It's
That was a beautiful bike.
yeah, it's still on your forum. That's the best paint job I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
that was impressive.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So if that bike's ever going up for available, I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah.